Okay, hello, welcome to number 3 on the spring 2010 final exam. So Debbie has 3 1-hour exams and has an average of 76%. She needs an average of 80% to get a B in her final grade. What is the minimum score she can get on her fourth and last hour exam and get a B for the course? Now we're going to assume that her last test is worth the same amount as her 3 first tests. So what's the minimum score? Okay, so what we have is we want x1 plus these are her scores, x2 plus x3 plus x4 divided by 4 to equal 80%. All right, now we know these 3 scores. Well, I'm sorry, we don't actually know in these individual scores, but we do know something about them. But what we want is we want to figure out what is x4, that fourth exam. So again, since we don't know these individual scores, I have 4 variables, and I can't really solve that right now. So you go through, and let's see what other information we have. The first sentence tells us that with 3 1-hour exams, she has an average of 76%. Well, let's write out what that means. That means x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3 is going to equal 76%. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to solve for x1, x2, and x3 individually, but I can solve their sum, meaning that if I were to multiply this 3 over to the other side, I will be able to solve for x1 plus x2 plus x3. And that's going to equal 228. Okay. All right, so again, I don't know each one of these, but I do know their sum. I know their sum is 228. Okay, so we can rewrite this now. So let's actually come over here. So now instead of x1, x2, and x3, I can write it as 228 plus x4 over 4. That has to equal 80%. All right, so now I just have to solve a little equation here, and I'm trying to solve for x4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 4 over. So that's going to give me 228 plus x4 equals 320. And then I'm going to just solve for x4 by subtracting 228 from both sides. And that is going to give me x4 equals 92%. Okay, so let's go back up, and that for number 3, that would be letter C.